G'day, I'm Kitone. I'm a singer-songwriter and dinosaur VTuber from Australia. This is a Draw My Life, where I'm gonna attempt to draw what happened in my life from when I was born to where I am now. Remember when YouTubers used to do this all the time? Or maybe I'm just ancient. As you can probably tell from this bubble art, I'm indeed not a particularly good artist, but I absolutely love these kind of videos. I used to binge watch these from my favorite creators when I was a young teenager. So I thought, let's bring these back. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I was born in 1999 in the small city called Perth, Western Australia. Growing up, since my parents were working a lot, most of my time after school was spent with my grandma, who would help me with my homework and sparked my interest in music. The earliest memory I have of me enjoying music was me dancing in the living room to Justin Timberlake's Rock Your Body and thinking that was the coolest thing ever. Good old times. Fast forward a bit, when I was 6 years old, I started learning my first instrument, which was the piano. That was really fun for a month before each lesson turned into a slog, but I still persisted with it for about 6 years, maybe even 7. Watch as that joke gets outdated almost instantly. During that time, I did other hobbies like swimming, taekwondo, and a ludicrous amount of video games. When I was 12, I ended up changing entirely different schools, going to what we call middle school. Now, this middle school was pretty cool. The other students were nice, the teachers were nice, but the only problem was, it was an only boys school. So as a socially awkward 13-year-old with already terrible social skills, not being able to talk to girls around my age was pretty bad. But we were able to interact with our sister school on a few occasions, mainly for concert band practice. I also dropped learning the piano after those 6 years, because trying to drag a piano around to impress your extended family was near impossible, and ended up picking up the saxophone. But I still made some friends and got along just dandy, and as most people my age do, we all got addicted to League of Legends. Another few years go by, and when I was 15, I decided that I wanted to quit music altogether and lock in, because my final years for school were coming up. By lock in, what I meant was quitting saxophone so I can lock in Zed playing League of Legends. Go me. Another year passed, and I ended up getting to this acoustic pop artist that you guys might know as Ed Sheeran. I still knew him from his songs like Logo House and The A-Team, but not much out of that. But during June of 2014, I heard his song called Bloodstream and thought, damn, that's nice, and then proceeded to binge listen to all his stuff. Next year, Ed did a performance of Bloodstream at the Brit Awards, and my jaw was on the floor. I may have watched that single performance hundreds of times. That single performance made me go, if I got an acoustic guitar, I would love to play like that and write the songs he does. This was also around the time which my folks asked me if I wanted a guitar for my birthday, and I told them, no. Because in my mind, I was done learning anything new and really needed to lock in playing studying. Yes, studying. My brother, whose birthday was just after mine, ended up getting a guitar, so late at night when he was asleep, I would sneak into his room at 10 PM, borrow his guitar for a few hours, and then sneak the guitar back into his room, and then wake up like a zombie for school the next day. It was great. By the time I was 16, I got my own guitar, and that was when I started writing my own songs. They were mostly bad, mind you. There was a few good ones which have now been lost to the hard drive. Coming out of school, I ended up going straight into university to study commerce, accounting, and marketing. Not because I particularly enjoyed it, but because I was pretty alright at it, and after a year of doing it, I ended up dropping out due to personal struggles and what people like to call a pretty shit year. After dropping out, I spent the year working and focusing on more music stuff, writing songs, performing, and not releasing them. I used to play at open mic nights and busk as a street performer for quite a few years. I did it so much that I even got recognized at a sushi train restaurant when I went with my family. That was my 15 seconds of fame. I even released a song as my IRL name. During early 2021, my girlfriend at the time and her friends wanted to get into VTubing, and I thought that was cringe, like really cringe. I didn't want to do it. I had zero intention to give it a go. I thought that I didn't really have much of a personality, have any creativity, or have been entertaining enough to have an audience. I also didn't want to let VTubing take over and hurt the time that I did with my music. But after some convincing, I ended up making my Twitter account in April of 2021 under the name KitKat and Boppo, or KitKat X Boppo, which kind of sounds like a fairy yowie gone wrong. My first model literally looks like Asian Ed Sheeran with a dinosaur on his head. That's how unoriginal I was. I remember taking a photo of myself in the outfit, and I told my model artist, please put a cute dinosaur on my head, and they did an amazing job on it. I also don't know why I was into dinosaurs so much, but I thought it was a funny idea. When I started, I also thought I would become a League streamer since that was what I was watching growing up. However, I've only streamed Leagues maybe 3 or 4 times in my entire 5 years of doing it. When I started, I was a PNG and I absolutely loved it. It basically became my second life. I would clock home from work and put most of my free time doing VTubing related things. I was able to channel a lot of my music through this medium which we call VTubing, and it occupied a lot of my free time after work. I loved it so much that I reduced the amount of time that I was doing with my IRL music to focus more on my VTuber music, even though there was a lot of crossover already. A few years passed, and funnily enough, I reconnected with one of my classmates that I didn't get along with back in elementary school. Like, by didn't get along, we hated each other. We didn't get along at all. And after a few games of League together, God help me, we ended up getting along really well as young adults. I found out that he watches VTubers and he was also an artist. So I asked him if he could design me a new VTuber model, which he did, and this is the one that you guys know me for. Another year passed and I debuted it on the 23rd of August 2023, which was also the year I got into a music school as a songwriter and guitarist. And in mid-2024, I released my own song as Kitone called Candle, which to this day is my most proudest thing that I've made so far. I also met my current girlfriend during this time and haven't been happier since. In early 2025, I had planned surgery for both my jaws, which basically stopped me from working or streaming, or even talking for a month. I was really bummed out, but during that time, with the short burst of energy I had left, I edited 2 TikToks every day for weeks, which helped me make my most well-known TikTok, my VTuber self-introduction video. I was expecting maybe 2,000 views on that thing, but you guys blew it up to over 500,000. I was in shock, so thank you for that near heart attack and second trip to the hospital. That single video alone changed everything for me. If you told me 5 years ago that I would still be here doing this and that I've made lifelong friends that I would travel over continents and oceans to visit, I would have called you crazy, but that's exactly what happened. I have met and worked with some amazingly talented people, some of which I'm very fortunate to call my friends. VTubing has changed my life in so many ways I can't even put into words. Thank you to my amazing community and the people that have been a part of my journey. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Thanks for watching.